You should probably know going into this that I'm going to be talking a lot of spoilers. So if you've somehow managed to not see anything Undertale related or not play the game, or if you're like the 3 people holding out for the Xbox One port, then I'd recommend you hold off on this one for a bit. However, if you've already played it in the last 2 years or you just don't care about spoilers, then let's move on. I like the idea of having an Undertale character in Smash Bros. Yeah, I know, but still, if you think about it, it's such a unique game with wonderful characters, and I understand that the fan base has ruined it for a lot of people, but that shouldn't ruin the fact that it's a good game. Oh, Undertale. You were so great for the brief period where only I knew about you and no one else did. And then slowly, more and more people found out about it, and it just kinda plateaued from there. And I think a lot of people can understand me on that sentiment. It seemed like once it got popular and all the big named YouTubers started playing it, it really started to get, I don't want to say bad, but it wasn't good. Because once it became a big thing and more big people started to play it, then we got fans going through and harassing people to play the way that they want it to be played. And while its fan base is kinda, I do think that it's a wonderful game, and it'd be cool to see a character in Smash Bros. Don't hate me on that. And well, since it's my job to come up with a moveset for a character in Smash Bros., let's dive in, shall we? If any character was to get into Smash Bros., I'd argue it'd be SANS. Cause while he may not be the main character, or even show too much fighting ability until the end of the game, he's arguably the most iconic. I think a lot of people remember him better than they remember a lot of other characters in the game. Also, Frisk as a character would be really boring. I don't like avatar characters, especially in Smash Bros, because they don't have personality. You might be thinking right now, SANS is already in Smash Bros, and I'd tell you that's a dead joke. However, some lovely individuals by the name of Andy Mander and dozens of unique geese have actually modded SANS into Smash Bros Brawl. And honestly, it plays just like a dream. Not quite exactly how I'd imagine it, but I think it's a pretty good basis for what I kind of want to do with him. So, to get started, SANS wouldn't only be SANS. See, when you play Undertale, you spend 80% of the game as this little soul heart dodging attacks. I think that in-game, SANS would constantly be accompanied by one of these little soul hearts. So yeah, technically Frisk isn't part of this moveset, but they're there in spirit. So with this little soul heart, all of the attacks would coordinate to something that you can do in Undertale. For instance, for your neutral special, your heart would go yellow, and he would shoot a little laser. However, if you hold down the button, the heart will start flashing as it charges a beam. And the longer you charge, more and more Gaster Blasters come down. When you let go of the button, they all shoot. For his side special, his soul heart would go green, and he will summon a little wall that follows his movements. I'm picturing this like Mario's Flood, except you can control which direction it's constantly pushing out in. For his down special, we will use the Nintendo Switch exclusive soul mode, and make it a counter, because I'm unoriginal. You hit down special, SANS splits into 2 halves as well as the heart. Whichever direction you're holding, that will be the side that SANS' soul would be in. So for instance, if you're holding down to the left, and someone comes by and hits the right, then SANS will use his counterattack. However, if someone hits the left, then you take damage. This is my way of implementing a counter without having it be too counter-y, because Smash Bros has a lot of those already. His up special, I think, could just be a generic teleport, because SANS can teleport. However, as a nice little visual change, I think that they should have it when he teleports, the soul heart would turn blue, because that represents gravity, and you can jump in that mode. As for other things with the soul heart, I think when you spot dodge, it should turn purple, kind of like the Muffet fight. And when you die, I think it should make the sound of a heart shattering, kind of like how it does in Undertale. For the rest of SANS' attacks, I like what they've done in that mod that I was talking about earlier. Just have it be a lot of bones. Maybe a couple blue ones so if you stand still you don't get damaged. With SANS' final smash, I really want it to be indicative of Undertale as a whole. When you get the smash ball and you use it, SANS throws out a bone forward, rotating, kind of like a boomerang. And whoever it hits, there's a flash and it goes into Undertale graphics. All of their stock icons get held into a pile in the middle of the screen. You see SANS and his battle sprite off to the side, and your little soul heart at the bottom. You're given 2 options: attack or mercy. From here you have 10 seconds to move your soul heart and choose whether or not you want to attack them or spare them. If you spare them, you get 20% healed for every player you caught. Maybe scale this up or down depending on how many people are in the game. However, if you choose to kill them, SANS will send them through a shortened version of his attack at the end of the genocide run. The enemies would be able to control their stock icons and try to dodge all the attacks, but realistically that's not going to happen, so you get a hefty amount of damage for each attack you get hit by. However, if you're over 100%, your stock icon will break and shatter, kind of like how they do in Undertale. For SANS' taunts, I think think it's way too obvious to have one based off of when he tells a bad joke in the game. One could be him dropping a bone and the annoying dog catching it. And I think it'd be cool if he stared straight at the screen and his pupils disappeared. I always liked it when that happened in the game. As for victory poses, I'm not quite sure what he would do. However, I think they should include Papyrus in them, because Papyrus is a very good foil to SANS, and I think having a couple of victory poses with the two of them would be pretty nifty. As for alternate costumes, it's probably just going to be a bunch of SANSes with 3 colored jackets. However, I think it's way too obvious that we get at least one that has the color scheme of his battle sprite. As for an Undertale assist trophy, I'd make it Undyne, and have it be like the segments where you have to run from her when she attacks you in the waterfall. An assist trophy doesn't have to be too in-depth, and we already have an assist trophy that basically does this, but with extra steps, and that's Jeff. So I think it'd be pretty neat. As for an Undertale stage, I really want it to be the stage where you fight Metaton EX. Just have it be one of those enormous party stages, and then every now and then Metaton drops it and has some commentary. I would say have him be a stage boss, but honestly, it'd be more fun just to have his kind of flavor to the battle, as opposed to him just interrupting everything. Plus, we all know stage bosses just get in the way, and people are going to turn him off in Ultimate anyways. So yeah, that's how I'd implement an Undertale character in Smash Bros. Please don't hate me. I think a lot of people on the internet liked the game, but don't want to admit it because of how, well, yeah, the fan base can be. But honestly, I think it's a really good game, and one that kind of catches a lot of shit for stuff that it doesn't have control over. Is it big enough to be in Smash Bros? Probably not, but the game was hitting its peak popularity at the time the project plan would have been being written. However, to all you Undertale naysayers, you have to at least admit one thing, and it's that that game has kick-ass music. Now tell me you wouldn't want to hear a Smash remix of some of those songs. Alright, and I rest my case. Well, what character would you have implemented into Smash Bros. From Undertale? And if you have any ridiculous kind of character ideas like this, then please tell me all about them in the comment sections. You know I love that kind of shit. If you like what I've been doing here, then please like and subscribe, or leave a comment in the comment section. I'm always down to talk to people, so please go and leave a comment. Until next time, I've been RVRocks, and thank you so much for watching.
See ya!